Hello guys and welcome back, and in this video we are going to discuss in detail how you can make your career in cloud computing. Now in case if you're wondering how to make your career as a cloud architect, go to our channel. In that particular video we have discussed that thing in detail. In this video we are going to have a generalized idea. We are going to have a discussion in general how you can make your career in cloud computing, and obviously this video is dedicated for freshers. Obviously it is not for someone who has 2 years of experience in cloud computing compared to the person who has 0 years of experience in cloud computing. Okay, so before moving ahead, first thing first, are you aware what is cloud computing? Now, we are not going to discuss what is cloud computing in this particular video, but I just want to give a very general idea about it. Cloud computing is basically a field of computer science where we make sure that whatever infrastructure we need to run our application is hosted, or I should say managed by the cloud provider. We go there and we use those services to make sure that our applications are running 24/7, and a lot of things are managed by the cloud provider, some things are managed by us. So this is in general what is cloud computing, but in case if you want to have a thorough discussion, you can go to our channel, and there we have discussed what is cloud computing in whole. Okay, now before I move ahead, I just want to show you what is actually happening and why people are quite interested and they are now thinking of cloud computing. And obviously this is a trend which you can see. Obviously if that is not properly visible, we are going to put the link in the description of this video, but you can see if this blue color is representing cloud computing, you can see there is sort of an uptick now. You can see there is an uptick and now it is constantly increasing. But if we talk about grid computing, it is actually going down, and if we talk about distributed computing, it is also going down, because companies, startups, small businesses are making sure, and obviously they are aware that cloud computing is something which is solving the problem which they are facing to make sure that their infrastructure is managed properly. So this is sort of a trend on basis of which we can understand and we can realize and we can make a sort of a calculated guess that cloud computing is something which is actually going to give your career a career boost. Okay, now let's discuss these set of skills which are required for you to make your career in cloud computing. Now, I want to mention one thing to you. You have to make sure that these are the set of skills are possessed by you. Obviously, some skills are not important, or I should say they are not required thoroughly. These are the set of some of those set of skills are optional, but I would suggest you should not keep them optional, because obviously if you want to make a good career, obviously cloud computing is a very big domain, but there are 3 ways you can make your career. You can make a very average career, you can make a below average career, or you can make a great career. Now if you want to make a great career, obviously you have to work hard on it. Now if we talk about what are the set of skills which are required to make a great career in it, these are the set of skills which are required. As you can see, you need programming knowledge. Now obviously, I would say this is an optional set of skill, because if you don't have a programming knowledge does not mean that you cannot make your career in cloud computing. But yes, if you have this set of skill, it is going to give your career a good boost. Secondly, you should have some database management skills. Now, why this is required? Because obviously either way, if you're managing your database in your on-premises infrastructure or if you're managing your database on cloud, ultimately the management skill should be there. So you should have knowledge of database management. Then comes the knowledge of system administration. Now, obviously this is going to give you a very sort of a great career growth, because obviously system administration on cloud compared to system administration on premises applications, or I should say infrastructure, is sort of 70% similar. So it is going to be sort of a same thing which you're going to repeat on cloud. The only difference is that at this time it is going to be on cloud with some added features, or maybe something which is removed from your on-premises infrastructure, I should say. And finally, IT experience is recommended for a very specific reason. IT is what is getting replaced by cloud. So maybe I would say 15 years ago, the IT team used to manage everything for you, but now cloud is managing everything for you. So if you have some good knowledge of IT, you will be able to understand, okay, this is how I have to build the infrastructure, this is how I have to make the infrastructure. So this set of skill is actually going to help you make a great career out of it. Now the question is, am I supposed to possess all these skills to make my career in cloud computing? The answer is no. For a very simple reason, cloud computing does not depend on these set of skills. If you were supposed to learn a programming language, let's say C#, I'll just take an example of C#. If you want to learn this particular piece of language, you don't have to have a knowledge of previous languages, because you can get started from here as well. So if you want to make a great career, obviously I would say these are the set of skills or knowledges or the skill set you should possess. But the question is, are they required? Well, the answer is no. So they are not required, but yes, I would say they are recommended if you want to make a great career in cloud computing. Okay, now let's discuss what are the top career options you can actually have in cloud computing. So you can see we have cloud administrator, we have architect, we have automation engineer, we have cloud engineer, we have security analyst, and we have software engineer. Now obviously this is confusing. What is the right option for me? Obviously that is the question. And obviously, okay, what are these things? Like when we talk about cloud, it is just simply that I have to go there, I have to upload my application, that is it. Am I supposed to do a lot of things? Well, obviously, since cloud industry is increasing, the size of cloud industry is increasing, the type of jobs and the kind of jobs are also increasing. So if we talk about in terms of administration, you have to make sure your applications are up and running by monitoring the services which your company, or I should say client, is using on cloud. Then if we talk about in terms of architect, this is the particular person who is going to design everything in cloud. Then we talk about automation engineer. Now once your infrastructure scales, you have a huge infrastructure, you're using so many different services, you need to have automation there, which this particular person is going to solve it for you, because obviously as a human being it is not possible. Then we have cloud engineer, obviously making services using cloud to make sure that your application is running. Then we have security analyst. Again, if we talk about important role, because you have to make sure that whatever infrastructure your company or your client is using is secured. Because what happens, cloud has this shared responsibility model where there are two types of security. One is the security where cloud is going to manage the security for you, and one is the part where you have to manage the security. And obviously if you're confused about this topic, you can actually go to our channel and you can watch this video. There is a dedicated video on that. And finally, cloud software engineer. So basically there are a set of tools, there are a set of services which are available on cloud. Now you want to make something out of it. Your company is making some applications which can be used on cloud. So obviously this is the role where you will become cloud software engineer. So these are the top career options, I should say. These are not the only career options, but yes, these are high profile, I should say, or high skill set required career options where you can make a great career, especially in the field of cloud. Okay, so now the next question is, how can I be part of this journey? Well, if you want a personalized answer, in that case, I would suggest there is a link in the description of this video where you can actually fill in your details. You can ask your personalized question and someone from our team is going to respond to your query, because obviously giving a personalized answer over YouTube or through this medium where the communication happens just one way, it is impossible. But if you need a generalized idea which is going to cater to the masses, in that case, this is the steps which you have to take. First of all, you should learn the basics of cloud computing. Again, no brainer. Then you have to choose your domain. Domain simply means we are going to discuss what is domain in the coming slides. Then get the certification. Now when we talk about getting the certification, you have to make sure that certification falls in your domain, because you don't want to run everywhere. Then have some hands-on experience, because obviously this is what is counted. Companies are not going to ask you, hey, what is virtual machine, when you're going to say this is what is a virtual machine, and you will be hired. After that, build your portfolio. Obviously, if you don't have any experience, nobody is going to hire you. But what you can do, you can build your portfolio as a freelance consultant, and finally start applying for jobs. Now, obviously, this sounds very simple. Just I think, oh yeah, so it sounds very simple. We just have 6 steps. Obviously it is not that simple. There are so many things which are involved, especially if I talk about in terms of certification. So right set of skills are required. If we talk about proper training is required for all these kind of confusion. Like if you need personalized training, if you need to connect to an expert who can train you, obviously in that case also you should reach to the link which is given in the description of the video, where experts can guide you. They can connect you to the proper trainer so that you can get yourself trained. And obviously if we talk about in terms of choosing a domain, so the choosing your domain depends upon what set of skills you have currently, or if you're starting as a fresher, what is your career dream, what is your career aspiration. So for all these kind of personalized recommendation or suggestion, in that case, as I mentioned, you should reach to the link which is given in the description of this video. Okay, in the last slide we discussed this word domain. Now what is domain inside cloud computing? Is it google.com? No, it is not google.com. It is a set of, I should say, department where you should be going ahead. So if we talk about in terms of cloud computing, we have the domain of administration where you are going to make sure the administration part of the cloud is happening. Then we have big data, where obviously sort of job roles come in, like data engineer and data scientist. Then we have artificial intelligence, obviously field of AI. Then we have a domain of DevOps. Then we have a domain of security. Then we have a domain of a developer. So these are independent domain, and obviously you can make a great career in any one of them. But which one is right for you, which one is not right for you, you need to have the proper understanding, and you should know where you have to jump in. Because in cloud, if you think that I should become a big data, I want to make my career in big data, obviously in that case you won't be able to jump into security or maybe DevOps or maybe developer role or maybe artificial intelligence you can jump in. But yes, you cannot navigate to a next step without again learning things from scratch. So you have to make sure that you're choosing your domain correctly so that you can actually seal your next 5 years or maybe 10 years down the line. Okay, so that is it, how you can make your career in cloud computing. And obviously you have some questions or confusion. In that case, I would suggest, if you have some suggestions or maybe confused about the discussion related to path in cloud computing, in that case, I would suggest please comment below and someone from our team will respond to your query. Second thing is, obviously, if you need personalized recommendation, if you have questions, what are the right set of trainings I should get, what are the right set of certification I should get, or maybe what is the right cloud vendor I should choose, because obviously we have so many, like we have AWS, we have Azure, we have GCP, and there are so many cloud vendors. So you have to understand that you're going to start from a vendor which is going to actually give you a great career boost. Obviously, I want to say AWS is not the answer for every single thing related to cloud. So you have to be very thorough about it. So in that case, obviously fill the form in the link of the description of this video. And obviously, if you're looking for jobs related to cloud computing or DevOps, we have started a new thing, skillnagar.com/jobs, where you can look for the jobs which are related to your field, where you can apply directly. So with this, thank you very much for this video, and I will see you in the next one.